is a response to Latinainglesa's weight loss motivational video, and I wanted to share with you some of the things and some of the reasons why I began this journey, this weight loss journey. The first one being to have a healthy body, a healthy heart, and a healthy mind. I had some medical problems about 8 months ago, and it resulted in me being tested for diabetes, cholesterol, and also quite a lot of concerns about high blood pressure. And with all of these issues being within my family and members of my family past and present having some of these ailments, I was really quite scared, and the shock, I think, of being tested for these ailments really knocked me into another world. People have said to me that I went to bed one night and woke up a completely different person, and in many ways I did. But I think that somewhere in my small brain, a button was pushed, a light switch went on, and I knew that it was time for me to make this change. In terms of a healthy mind, I think the biggest misconception about people who are overweight is that they are, in fact, happy, joyful people who are quite happy with their weight. And a lot of us, like myself, actually continue to back up that theory. People have said to me that they always thought that I was happy, that I always gave the image and put a point across that I was, very happy at the size I was. At my biggest, I was about a size 32 in clothes sizes. I couldn't even tell you what I weighed because I didn't actually weigh myself at that period of time. I did lose some weight and went down to 22. I went down smaller than that. I went to an 18 at first, and then crept back up over a period of about 3 years to size 22. And then, as I said, about 7 or 8 months ago, the button got pushed, and I think that I'd had quite a long period of depression where I was just so depressed about my whole life and the weight that I was carrying that it just escalated and escalated, and every small thing was so much bigger than it really was. Because I was so depressed, and I was very angry at myself, at the world, at other people, and I was becoming a person that I didn't recognise. I really didn't recognise myself most of the time anyway, other than being this sort of jolly fat girl who made people laugh, but inside was just really depressed. And so, to keep myself healthy in my body and to keep myself away from such ailments such as diabetes and heart disease, and also to keep my mind healthy and my mind happy. This is one of the things that keeps me utterly motivated every day. And the things that I do, from the eating to the exercise, are just, constantly backing up this fact that I am changing my body for a healthy reason, for a reason that's going to save my life, and it's also mentally making me feel so much happier in life. I think the second thing that keeps me motivated is the passion that I have to be strong and fit. I've seen people who've lost an enormous amount of weight, and they're not healthy, they're not strong, they're not fit, they're weak, they lose muscle mass, they lose their energy, they don't eat properly, and the thing that keeps me motivated is this healthy body that I am going to achieve at the end of this journey. Number 3 for me is to have a body that matches my personality, not a personality that tries to hide my body. I think some people may understand where I'm coming from with this, especially when I was a lot bigger. I definitely used my personality to try and create a smokescreen over the size that I was. I am somebody that is very quick-witted and quite funny, and I went over and above the call of duty to create this persona of this very happy, bubbly, hilarious girl, um, that people would see the personality before they saw the weight. And I did that specifically around people that I thought may judge me with regard to my size. And whilst that makes you friends, and it creates situations where you feel that you are popular and you are well liked, inside you don't feel like that. Inside you feel that you wished you could just have that body that matched that personality, and had that, didn't have to work so hard to make people like you and not judge you because of your weight. Um, and whilst I know that people haven't judged me and people have turned around and said, but we never looked at you that way, we never saw how overweight you were, that is a true, that's probably a true response to the personality that I created as a smokescreen to cover up how large I actually was. And I don't want to do that anymore. I'm tired of living a life like that, and that really keeps me motivated, to have that body that matches the personality and not have this overwhelming personality that I use as a smokescreen that I don't particularly happen to like anymore, in many ways, because I know it's so fake. I think point four is actually quite hilarious, and point four for me is what keeps me motivated is to fit into aeroplane seats comfortably. I fly a lot, I travel a lot, I love to travel. My weight never obstructed me from traveling overseas or going long distances. But one of the things about flying that I really found humiliating was obviously doing up the seatbelt. Even at my very biggest, I refused to allow anyone to try and give me a seatbelt extension. There were a few times where stewardesses or cabin crew came over to me and asked me if I would like a seatbelt extension. Now, this is probably the most humiliating thing that can ever happen to you, because that is somebody telling you in sort of an underlying way that you are so obese that you cannot fit in the seatbelt. I recently flew. I've come back from holiday, and I'm pleased to say that the seatbelt did actually go right round me, and with some extra, about 7 or 8 inches extra of seatbelt. So I was really pleased with that. Obviously, my goals over the next few months is to have a lot more inches pulled out when I tighten that seatbelt. But really, that's my comedy motivation, is to definitely make sure that I never get asked if I need a seatbelt extension again in my life. So point number 5 is my final point for you, and for me, it's probably one of the most motivational things, and that is to live my life fully and stop wasting it. I believe that for the last at least 28 years, I have not lived my life fully. I have not lived it to the fullest that it can be. I've wasted so much time, and I am not prepared to lose any more of my life carrying this huge weight around with me anymore. I want to be able to do things. I want to be normal in the sense that I can go into a clothes shop and I can buy anything off the rack and it will fit me. I want to be able to go out there and run and walk and do aqua aerobics and, enter runs. I've started doing 5K runs, and next year my motivation is to do a 10K run. This really does keep me motivated. I wanted to make this video because, as I said at the beginning, I really am so impressed by Latinainglesa's videos and her journey, and sharing a similar journey myself. I just wanted to say a few words